What if I told you the most dangerous room in your house isn't the kitchen with its open flames, but the one you visit first thing every morning? The bathroom. A stroke occurs every 40 seconds in America, and shockingly, what you do in that private space could be the hidden trigger that puts you at risk. Before we dive into these life-saving tips, please take a moment to subscribe to Golden Vitality and click the notification bell. My mission is to give you the knowledge to protect your health, and I don't want you to miss a single update. Hello, I'm Adam, a senior health specialist and the founder of Golden Vitality. For years, I've worked with older adults to navigate the challenges of aging, and one of the most overlooked areas of risk is the bathroom. It's a fact that 99% of seniors are unaware that simple, everyday habits, like how you urinate, how long you sit, or even how you breathe while getting up, can increase your stroke risk by a staggering 300%, especially after age 65. This isn't speculation, this is science. And most doctors are so focused on medication and major lifestyle factors that they never ask about these subtle but powerful triggers. Researchers, however, have been raising the alarm for years about how these routines impact blood pressure, artery health, and brain oxygenation. In this video, we're going to count down the 7 silent bathroom habits that could be jeopardizing your health, ranked from the significant to the most critical. I'll explain the science behind each one and give you simple, actionable steps to turn these risks into routines that protect you. Stick with me, because the #1 habit is something almost every senior does daily, and it alone can cause a blood pressure surge powerful enough to rupture a weakened artery in your brain. Everything we discuss today is backed by peer-reviewed research, and you can find links to every study in the description below. This is your guide to making your bathroom a place of safety, not a source of danger. Let's begin with number 7, rushing your morning urination and not fully emptying your bladder. It sounds harmless, but it sets off a dangerous chain reaction. A study in the International Urogynecology Journal revealed that incomplete bladder emptying can raise systolic blood pressure by up to 30 millimeters of mercury, a direct amplifier for stroke risk. Here's what's going on inside your body. When you don't fully empty your bladder, it stays partially full, and your body remains in a low-grade fight-or-flight mode. This activates the sympathetic nervous system, which keeps your blood pressure elevated, tightens your arteries, and restricts vital oxygen flow to the brain. Over time, this chronic stress on your vascular system increases the likelihood of a plaque rupture. For those of us over 65, this is especially critical because the detrusor muscle, which is responsible for pushing urine out, naturally weakens by up to 50%. This means that even when you think you're finished, you probably aren't. As confirmed by the European Urology Review, this retained urine is common in older adults, but often goes unnoticed until complications arise. That chronic retention forces your kidneys to work overtime, which in turn elevates renin-angiotensin activity, a hormonal cascade that spikes blood pressure and accelerates arterial aging. Essentially, you're starting every day in a pressure storm without even knowing it. The solution is surprisingly simple. Practice double voiding. After you finish urinating, pause for 10 to 15 seconds. Relax, take a breath, and then try again. The National Institute on Aging states this simple method can reduce residual bladder pressure by up to 60%. For men, especially if you have an enlarged prostate, talk to your doctor about alpha blockers, which can relax the bladder muscle. For women, particularly after childbirth or menopause, pelvic floor therapy can be incredibly effective. Now for number 6, brushing your teeth only, once a day, or worse, skipping it at night. You might wonder what oral hygiene has to do with your brain, but the science is clear. Your mouth is a primary gateway for inflammation that can lead to a stroke. Researchers at the University of South Carolina discovered that seniors who brushed only once a day had a 70% higher risk of stroke compared to those who brushed twice. That's nearly double the danger from one skipped brushing. Here's the mechanism. When you sleep, plaque, a biofilm teeming with bacteria, builds up. If you don't brush it away at night, those bacteria don't just stay in your mouth. They seep into your bloodstream through tiny cuts in your gums, a condition common in over half of adults over 65. Once in your arteries, these bacteria trigger a body-wide inflammatory response. This inflammation makes your blood thicker, stickier, and more prone to forming clots, the #1 cause of ischemic strokes. The official journal of the American Heart Association, Stroke, published a study confirming that people with gum disease were twice as likely to suffer a stroke, even after accounting for other risk factors like smoking. These oral bacteria literally attack the delicate lining of your arteries, a condition called endothelial dysfunction. Once that lining is damaged, clots can form with frightening speed. The problem is that most seniors who brush once a day do it in the morning, which does nothing to address the 8 hours of bacterial growth overnight. The fix? Make brushing before bed non-negotiable. Use a soft, bristled brush with gentle pressure to avoid creating more entry points for bacteria. And your toothpaste matters. The Journal of Periodontal Research found that toothpaste containing stannous fluoride reduced stroke-linked inflammation markers by over 40% in older adults. Don't forget to use a tongue scraper and, most importantly, floss. Flossing removes the exact plaque between teeth that leaks the most bacteria into your system. Moving on to number 5. Using the toilet first thing in the morning while dehydrated. This is a silent danger many people overlook. When you wake up, your body is in its most dehydrated state. Your blood is thicker, your arteries are tighter, and your heart is already working harder to pump that viscous blood through your system. When you go straight to the toilet without drinking anything first, you combine that dehydrated state with the strain of urination. It's a recipe for disaster. The Lancet published research showing that stroke risk spikes by over 80% in the early morning hours, with dehydration being a major contributor. The sudden change in position from lying down to sitting or standing, combined with low blood volume, can cause a dangerous drop in cerebral perfusion, meaning your brain isn't getting enough blood. In seniors with existing plaque, that drop can be enough to trigger a full-blown stroke. The fix is simple but crucial. Keep a glass of water on your bedside table, and before your feet even hit the floor, drink at least 12 to 16 ounces, about 300 to 500 milliliters. This immediately improves blood viscosity and, as shown in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, helps prevent the sudden blood pressure drops associated with orthostatic hypotension, a common cause of falls and strokes in seniors. At number 4, we have taking long, hot showers without a proper cool down. A hot shower feels wonderful on stiff joints, but for seniors, it creates a volatile environment for your circulatory system. The heat causes rapid vasodilation, meaning your blood vessels open wide, causing your blood pressure to drop quickly. Then, when you step out of the hot shower into the cooler air, your vessels suddenly constrict, sending your blood pressure soaring back up. This chaotic swing is what's dangerous. A Finnish study found that people who routinely took long, hot showers without a cool down were twice as likely to suffer an early morning stroke. That dramatic shift from hot to cold puts immense shear stress on your blood vessels, which can rupture weak spots in artery walls or dislodge plaques. To fix this, you don't have to give up your shower. Simply end it with 30 seconds of lukewarm or cool water. This allows your blood vessels to stabilize gradually, easing the transition to room temperature and reducing the risk of dizziness and stroke by over 50%, according to research published in the journal Temperature. This brings us to number 3. Straining during a bowel movement. This habit is critically dangerous. Over 40% of seniors suffer from chronic constipation, and the act of straining can be lethal. The Stroke Journal published a groundbreaking study showing that intense straining increases the risk of an intracerebral hemorrhage, a bleeding stroke, by over 300%. When you bear down and hold your breath, you perform what's called the Valsalva maneuver. This action can cause your blood pressure to spike by over 50, even 90 millimeters of mercury in mere seconds. For a senior with hardened arteries, that sudden blast of pressure can be catastrophic, causing a vessel in the brain to burst. Compounding the problem is the standard toilet height, which kinks the colon and makes passing stool more difficult. The solution involves several steps. First, hydration is key. Aim for 1.5 to 2 liters of water daily. Second, increase your fiber intake with foods like chia seeds, oats, and prunes. Third, use a small footstool to elevate your feet while on the toilet. This straightens the colon, allowing for easier passage without straining. Coming in at number 2 is sitting too long on the toilet scrolling on your phone. This modern habit is a triple threat. First, sitting for extended periods, especially with your knees bent, slows blood return from your legs, causing blood to pool and reducing oxygen flow to your brain. Second, the act of scrolling activates your sympathetic nervous system, raising your heart rate and blood pressure from the mental stimulation alone. Third, most people crane their neck downwards, which can compress the vertebral arteries that supply blood to the brainstem. It's a perfect storm of reduced blood flow and increased pressure. My professional advice is to make the bathroom a zero distraction zone. Leave your phone outside. No one should be on the toilet for more than 5 to 7 minutes. After you're done, walk around for a couple of minutes to reset your circulation. And now, the number 1 most dangerous bathroom habit, holding your breath while straining or standing up quickly. This is the one that can cause a fatal event in seconds, and it's an unconscious reflex for almost everyone. The combination of holding your breath, the Valsalva maneuver we discussed, with the sudden change in posture from sitting to standing is the ultimate trigger. Your body is hit with a sequence of low oxygen, then a massive pressure spike, then circulatory confusion. That is when clots form or vessels burst. The British Journal of General Practice reports that older adults who stand too quickly from a seated position, especially from the toilet, have a 2.5 times greater risk of a stroke-related collapse. So, how do you fix this deeply ingrained habit? You must retrain your breathing. Practice exhaling slowly and steadily as you stand up. Never brace and hold. Inhale deeply before you move, then let the air out as you exert the effort. And move in stages. Rise from the toilet slowly, using a grab bar for support if you need it. The American Stroke Association confirms that seniors who master this slow, deliberate movement and conscious breathing reduce their acute stroke risk by over 60%. These 7 habits may seem small, but for seniors, they are monumental. Each one pushes your body closer to a critical threshold, but you are not powerless. By changing these bathroom routines, you are actively changing your brain's future. Hydrate first, breathe steady, slow down, clean smart, and move with awareness. These aren't just hygiene routines, they are life or death rituals after 65. So let me ask you, have you ever felt lightheaded or had a dizzy spell in the bathroom? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story could be the wake-up call someone else needs. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and share it with a loved one over 60. And be sure to subscribe to Golden Vitality for more science-backed health advice you won't hear anywhere else. I'm Adam. Protect your health, stay vital.